Hello, welcome to the stream. I should probably put my BGM on, huh? Yes, today's stream is, as you can probably guess based on the appearance here, is a another Gundam Mecha design stream, especially because you probably clicked on the stream which has the thumbnail that says Gundam 00 Mecha Design Tier List. I'm guessing that's probably something you clicked on to end up here. Anyway, this is one of the streams that I've been most looking forward to doing, because this is Gundam 00 is my favorite Gundam show, and this is part of a long-running series of Gundam tier list streams. I believe I have a link in the description to the other ones if you want to watch them. The Gundam Seed one was particularly well received. That one got a lot of views. So let's hope this one does well too. I have a lot of mecha, as you can see here. A lot of them are well-known ones. I've been sure to include basically all the well-known ones in at least some form. So for instance, while I don't have the tier and ground type, so sorry if you wanted to see that specific one. Emily, hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so if you wanted to see the tier and ground type, sorry, but that one's not going to be in here because I had to choose between that and the space type, and personally I like space type more, so I decided to put the space type in, and I didn't want to have both because that's a bit of like oversaturation. In a similar vein, like I only have one version of the Hellion. I don't have like the Hellion ground type, the Hellion orbital package, the Hellium Initium, the Hellium Medium, the Hellium Perpetuum. There's so many Hellions, and they're like almost all like 90% the same. It'd be a bit silly for me to try to include all of those. Who knows, maybe someday I'll do a much bigger one where I include all of the like little tiny variants. But I did also include a few lesser known ones, such as right over here, or right near the middle. I don't know if you can see, but there's the Throne of Varanus. Actually, let me allow the window capture to capture my cursor. Oh, it is allowed to capture my cursor. Oh, there we go. Yeah, right here you can see that, like the Throne of Varanus, or the Tira and Kyoto. But for now, let's just get on to the stream. So first of all, we have Exia. And where I can, I am using the developer line art instead of the released line art because I think it looks like infinitely better. Particularly Exia's face looks kind of weird in the normal released line art. Those who know me will know that Exia is one of my favorite things ever. So obviously this is going to get a high place in the tier list. I really love the placement of the clavicle antenna here. The GN cables here are amazing. The cockpit is a very nice shape. The circle GN condenser there is just about perfect, and I love the appearance of the head with the single white simple V-fin. The little bit of a bunny ear there, and the vents with the ventless mouth plate. I love Exia so much. Exia is one of my favorite designs, and it's an easy S tier. Are these in squares? How do I... Okay, there we go. There. That looks better, I think. Okay, next is the 00. Also, by the way, this stream almost was like way late because it was having trouble processing the high-res images that I have because I just have them for my own line art collection. So that's kind of funny. But specifically, this is the double riser. Once again, I didn't put just the normal 00 because I already have the double riser in here. And I feel like this is the more definitive version of the mobile suit. But I don't like it as much as Exia, but the winged shape here, making it almost look like an angel, I really am a big fan of that. The legs have a very athletic appearance. I don't know how much I'm fond of this skirt armor. I think if I were making my own version, I might change that. And also, I'm not that big a fan of the top-loading cockpits, but it kind of works here. It takes a lot of influence from Exio in ways that I really like that work well to make it, you know, appear that it's obviously a successor to Exio. Such as the bunny ears here. Overall, it's a bit more of a blocky shape, but I imagine that probably made it a lot easier to animate. And I'm gonna put that also in S for now, although it might get bumped down to A because there's a lot of ones that I really like. And Dynamez. Dynamez is a very interesting design to me because I like how it includes more blocky utilitarian aspects, such as these very blocky feet, or the blocky knees with the sensors and the missiles in them. The cockpit I very much like, because like the rest of it, it's a bit more blocky, but it still has the same vibe as the rest of them. I'm a big fan of these thrusters on its ass. The shoulders are also a very nice shape, especially with their ability to mount hardpoints such as this, the full shield system. And I'm also a big fan of the way that the rifle is stored on the shield. I think that looks great. One of my favorite things about it is the way that the head camera can cover up the eyes and just have the sniping camera as appreciation. So true. Yeah, the way that the head camera, or the eyes can be covered up for the sniping camera, that really, Gundam 00 was the first Gundam show that I watched, and that was one of the things that really stuck out to me, and really got me hooked, was that sort of detail in mechanical design. So we'll give Dynamez an A. So, and now Curios. I don't think I have the developer lineup for Curios, because this is not it. Curios is another one of my favorite designs. The nice long shoulders, and the spiked, like wings making spikes on the knees, give it a very aggressive look. I really like the way that the chest is pointed, because that also makes it look more aerodynamic, as does the bit of a mohawk thing that's got going on there. You can definitely tell this is a Kanatani Bikoa design. Although its flight mode does look a little bit silly with the head just staring directly downward and completely visible. But the fact that that is actually explained in the story is nice. It's got an aesthetic that I really enjoy. And by the way, these like shoulder parts were done in a very nice way on the high grade. Of course, I do have all of the Season 1 Gundam high grades. I'm actually not sure where to put this, but for now we'll put it in A, but above Dynamez. Actually, let's do Virtue next before Nadley. So next is Virtue. I actually just finished building a high grade Virtue. Well, finished building somebody else's high grade Virtue that they'd lost interest in and said they were never going to finish. It's got a very unique vibe with its very chunky appearance. You don't usually see this in a Gundam mobile suit. But I think we should more, honestly. Especially look at that chubby fat face. Look at it. What, how could you not love that? But yeah, this big part there covering up the circle gives a very nice vibe. The way that if it didn't have the backpack, it would probably look bottom heavy with these big armor on the legs, but the backpack nicely balances all that out and gives it a nice well-rounded look, especially with the black here going well with the black there, and just being tied together by the black in the torso. It's got a very nice balanced look to it, and it definitely does have the armored behemoth look that it's obviously going for. And it's got that style of detail, which seems to be more of a Kanata Ibikawa style, but I think Takayuki Anase, who did this design, did a good job emulating that with the notches there and there and there and there. I really like that style of detailing. I think it looks really, really nice. And Virtue will get, not a big fan of like fat ones, fat mobile suits, but it'll get A tier right at the bottom. And then next, Nodley. I am a big fan of the Nodley design. The red cables that look like hair are a very unique design choice. And it's nice that you can see some things that you can see from the outside of Virtue, such as this cockpit and the thighs you can just easily see just on Virtue, which is also, by the way, the knees are where the beam sabers are kept, which can be accessed by either Virtue or Nodley. Thin gender fluid lad. So interesting you'd say that, because the word Nodley comes from the a Navajo word, which I've heard translated as two-spirit, which, as I understand it, is a concept remarkably similar to the idea of being gender fluid. The Nodley refers to, like, as it is in Virtue, the female spirit within the man, or the male spirit within the woman. So it's interesting that it has that sort of concept that we think of as rather new and advanced from so long ago, and that is the reason that it's called Nodley. So yes, this Gundam is a twink. Actually, why have I not shown that to Lucilia yet? Hang on, chat. Right now, I'll DM Lucilia and tell her that Gundam's a twink and see what she says. Let's see. Where is my line art folder? There we go. This Gundam is a twink. Opinions. Okay, it is done. Lucilia list. Let me quickly plug in my third monitor so I can actually see what that looks like. Because I don't have, I have Discord open, but for your guys' sake, I have it. I have the tab muted. She says that my understanding of twink is quite different. I'm gonna send her frowny face. Anyway, moving on from that disappointment. Next is the O Gundam. So I've mentioned this before on these Mecha Tierlist streams, but Kuino Wakawara's line art looks like ass, honestly. I love Kuino Wakawara's designs, but they just do not. His line art just does not represent the designs that well. This is one that looks so much better in animation. I'm particularly fond of the proportions that the high grade has. I said have. But I'm a big fan of what this does to the RX-782 design. Particularly, it freshens it up a bit, and it makes it go with the 00 Gundam aesthetic. But other than that, it's mostly just, this is just the RX-782, and I really like it for being that. I think it does a great job with doing that, and it is, I think, my favorite version of the RX-782, since, you know, there are, like, the AH-1 is basically the RX-782. The O Gundam obviously is basically the RX-782. Gundam's done that a few times with things that are just basically the RX-782, and this is definitely my favorite. It helps that it's going for a design aesthetic that I personally very much enjoy, and the way that it slims everything out, I'm a pretty big fan of. So let's put that I can't keep putting things all in A tier. I can't do that. Let's put him in B. The Ronaldo. And can you guys believe that there's no model kit of the Ronaldo? Like, there's none at all. There's no way to get this model kit form. It's impossible. The only way you could do it is by trying to modify a Union flag. And I think that's terrible. Anyway. As far as the Ronaldo goes, it's nice that it uses the same, like, it's got a, like, the Union mobile suits. Ronaldo. It's, I believe it was Ronaldo, not Ronaldo, but yes, that is what it's called. The Union Ronaldo. This was the the predecessor to the flag. It could transform. It's got a very interesting idea that I really like, that it could transform between flight mode and mobile suit mode by part swapping. So basically, you make, if you need like 100 mobile suits and 50 fighters, you make 150 Ronaldos, and just have 50 of them in fighter mode and 100 of them in mobile suit mode. But what's interesting is that it was just because it was via part swapping, it couldn't do in mid-air or anything. But it is still a design that I really like. Oh, actually, there's one more that I didn't add that I want to add. Silly creature that I don't know the name of because it's been set as two different things. But I can't because it's in the wrong file format. Okay, I can do this. Anyway, the the Ronaldo, it's the way its head is recessed is very interesting. It's got the same big hands as the later flag that is much more well known. It's definitely a unique design. That much is to be sure. But it's got, the thing is, I'm not sure how much I actually like it, so I'm gonna put it in C. But I do enjoy what it was trying to do there. Okay, I just had another one. Okay, Eyes Gundam. Actually, for the longest time, my own custom mobile suit, actually the latest design I have for my own custom mobile suit is based on Eyes Gundam. This is one of my favorite mobile suit designs of all time. I love the way that the legs flow, and the high heels. The blue color looks very nice. This piece of armor here, I feel like really ties together the chest design in a way that the Reborn's Gundam that it's based on out of universe, and that, although it's the opposite in universe, just really doesn't do the same for me. The head is, for me, the weak point. But it looks like that, and that's the way it looks. And, how do I explain this? I appreciate the way it looks for being, that's the way the design is. You know? And I like it for what it is. The backpack also is one of my favorite things. The shoulders are quite nice. The backpack is a very, very nice design. I really like the way that the backpack can change modes for different uses. That was one of the things that really stuck out to me. I actually first found out about this kit, about this mobile suit, because I got the high grade model kit, and then I did a lot more research on it and absolutely fell in love. It was also an amazing build. I have another one because due to a situation, it got damaged, so I got another one that I still need to build. My other one, my original one, is sitting up there. I'm probably gonna use it for a custom because it's missing both skirt armors, and these like parts here, these armor parts there on the shoulders, it's missing. Other than that, it's basically in perfect condition. Like, there's not any parts that are missing, I should say. But this one is another easy S tier. It's gonna go above the 00, in fact, but below Exia still. Next is the Overflag, which is the reason I didn't put the flag in there, because it's too similar to the Overflag. I really like this, like, defense rod. It was a very interesting concept when I first saw it. It's got a very interesting and unique appearance. It's very, very thin, which is actually because it uses the carbon for the engine stored in the metal frame, which is a very interesting idea. The Tri-Striker, I believe it was called, was also an interesting weapon. One handle's not enough for you? How about 3? And I do have one of these that I need to build, but I lost the sticker sheet, which is why I haven't yet. But now I can, honestly, I don't even need it anymore, because mostly I need it for the visor, but I can just paint that now. So I'll probably do that at some point soon. But it was definitely an interesting mobile suit. I really like the way these like fins are like a kind of like on certain types of birds, like falcons. And it's got a very interesting vibe going with, like, somehow my brain ties together these like things on the feet and then the knees there and the hands. My brain ties all those together as being similar, and I feel like in some way they are. The visor was one of my favorite things ever, with like the mono eye in there that's hidden. I love that so much. Let's give it A tier, probably right there. Next, my favorite version of the Zaku, since Gundam makes, you know, copies of the Zaku all over the place. Like you get the Genis, the Jin, the Zaku, technically, actually. Even in the same universe, you've got the Hyzak, and then obviously the Tierin, the Greys. There are so many like things that are just copying the Zaku, and this is my favorite. In fact, this is my favorite version of the Tierin itself, the space type. Well, no, technically not. But it's one of my favorite versions. I do like the bulky utilitarian feel it has. It sports the mono eye very well. And these big tanks were another thing that just like really stuck out to me in my first viewing of any Gundam media. And I'm kind of sad to see that sad to not see this sort of thing used anywhere else in Gundam. But it is what it is. And then everything from the feet to these hands, and then the shoulders with the thrusters on them, everything feels like it has a purpose, and I really, really enjoy that. And it's going to go in B tier, right there. Okay, next is the Hellion Perpetuum. Though most people probably just know this is the Hellion, but there were 2 other variants that we don't see in the show that were basically earlier variants. We don't see them in the show because all the Hellium Initium were upgraded into Hellium Mediums, and then all the Hellium Mediums were upgraded into this version, the Hellion Perpetuum. But anyway, did you guys know that there also isn't any model kit of this? There is no way to get a Hellion model kit. It's impossible. They just don't exist. Bandai never made any model kit of the Hellion at all. And I think that's actually a crime. I think we should storm Bandai HQ and start beheading them for that. Anyway, this has a similar vibe to the Ronaldo with a bit of a recessed head, but it's got more curves in it. That's definitely an interesting thing, and it helps to set apart the AEU design language from the Union, and I think that's very nice. The fact that each faction has its own, unique design language entirely. Of course, most people just remember the Hellion as getting sliced up by Exia in episode 1. Though that might have to do with the fact that I've watched episode 1, I think 10 times by now, at least. Back in the day, episode 1 was available on a higher quality on YouTube than any other episode. And that was the only place that I had access to when I was like 11 for watching Gundam. The line arts are drawn almost kind of sloppy-ish, with like this part not matching up with this part, but it's fine. But that does get a little bit below the Ronaldo. Well, no, actually I might like it a little bit more. Yeah, I probably like it just a bit more than the Ronaldo. I like the Hellion and Ronaldo a similar amount. Next, the Reborn's Gundam, and I don't vibe with this design nearly as much as I do with the Ai's Gundam. It's surprising because they're so similar, but just so many of the things that it does differently, it makes the design not work nearly as well for me, and I don't like it nearly as much. Particularly the chest doesn't look nearly as nice, the way that everything's like smoothed out. If I can remember correctly, the civilian GN Wolves at the end of Trailblazer are based on a Hellion. It doesn't have a kit. The G-Porton is based on it. No, they don't look anything like the Hellion. I actually have that in the tier list. The Sakibure. I actually don't know if this is a mobile suit or powered armor. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but we'll get to that when we get there. But yeah, it's got a similar like small vibe to it, but when you really look at it, the individual shapes are not similar. But yes, the G-Porton does seem to be based on it. Whether that means that there's an in-universe Sakibure kit in Gundam Build Fighters Tri, or the character just based it in concept and made it look like the Sakibure intentionally without using parts from a kit due to the fact that it doesn't exist. Either one is definitely possible, since the Build Fighters and Divers universe is no stranger to kits existing in universe that don't exist in real life. For instance, in Build Fighters, there was a Barzam high grade before that came out in real life. There may or may not be a Perfect Gundam 3 kit, and in Tri there is both a high-grade Kapul and a high-grade Wadom, which really made me think we were going to get a real high-grade Kapul and Wadom, but we still haven't, and right now the only high-grade from Turn A that we have is the Turn A, which is very, very terrible. I'd expect we'd at least have a Sumo, which by the way also exists in Build Fighters, but nope. Anyway, back to the Reborn's Gundam. Its transformation mechanism is interesting, and also because the high grade for the Ai's Gundam is based on it means I have several spare GN drives, which is nice. But yeah, it just doesn't, overall the design, despite being in more similar to my colors, the design just like, it doesn't quite do it for me, But it is good enough. I do like it more than Virtue though. Next, possibly my favorite grunt unit ever, the Jinx. I love the Jinx. The one eye there and the four eyes in X shape gives such a menacing appearance. As do the claws, and the purple GN condenser there really reminds you this is similar to the Gundams, but it's not. It's it's the enemies for sure. This thigh piece here looks very nice. In fact, I might scrap one of my Jinxes from my Armored Core build if I decide to. Especially the way it works with this one. The high grade is also quite nice. It's also good for beginners because it's all light colors. But all the parts, like they all flow together. And then the X is there. The X shape there looks very nice. But overall, it's got a very menacing appearance, especially with the presentation used in the show. And it's easily one of my favorite grunts ever. And I think it's actually I think it's good enough to get to just barely good enough to get S tier. And next is the GN flag, also known as the Union Flag Custom 2. I actually have a custom build of this, but I need to work on it because I decided it's not good enough. Also, it broke, which was not my fault. This was the presentation of this was perfect. I love the way this is presented. It has a very, very menacing appearance. And also the just the idea that a flag could have a GN drive was insane to me when I first saw it. It doesn't do it in the show, but it can have a GN field. It's just that the Grandmaker doesn't like to use it due to his own personal beliefs. The defense rods here are interesting. Those didn't move in my first draft of the my kit that I made, but they will in the second one, which I'll post on social media when I finish it eventually. But a lot of the parts of it are the same as the flag, but the shoulders are different. These are different. The head, it has different proportions, and obviously the backpack is very different. And it's overall got a different vibe, especially with the beam saber. And I like it definitely more. In fact, I like it more than Curios. No, I actually like that enough for it to go in S tier. Next is 00's take on the Full Armor Gundam, the Full Armor O Gundam. I'm not a big fan of this, like, the way these, like, face towards there. It almost reminds me of, like, a lion's head somehow. I don't know. But I'm not the biggest fan. The shoulders, the way the shoulders look, and the overall vibe of the armor, the way it covers, like, the most vital areas, that looks nice. The way that the shoulder armor interfaces with the added armor there interfaces with the original armor, you can see there, it looks nice. And it doesn't make the suit too bulky, which is good, but it makes it bulkier for sure. And it changes the aesthetics a bit to make it look a bit more utilitarian, which is nice. The face cover is also nice, giving it a unique vibe compared to other full armor designs for Gundams. But definitely with the shoulder-mounted cannon there and the twin-mounted arm gun, it definitely still pays homage to the other full armor designs. But it's just sort of not my thing, but I'll put it in B tier for now. I've got to find something to put in D tier. Am I going to have to swap these two down there and then, like, these two under there? Because yeah, I'm gonna, because I really love everything from 00. I hate to do that. Yeah. I can at least do that. It breaks my heart to put anything in here from in D tier, but you know, it's all like comparative. I've gotta. Actually, I also think I'll probably put that down to there and that there. Okay, Avalanche Exia. Anybody who knows me probably knows Avalanche Exia is my favorite mobile suit most of the time. Sometimes it can be surpassed by the red frame, but most of the time, Avalanche Exia is my absolute favorite. I absolutely love the these parts back there. I love the way that it relocates the swords to the back, as well as all four beam sabers and daggers on the back there. The big shoulders are obviously the main draw for me. I love that silhouette. And just the idea of something that's, you know, can potentially even surpass the 00 Gundam performance, but just for 10 minutes, it's a really nice idea to me. And it also does explain why it wasn't seen in the show. And probably couldn't surpass the 00, but it could definitely, I feel like it could get close at least. But the fact that it was only for 10 minutes means it wasn't actually stronger. The high grade of this was, I feel like it gets a lot of hate, mostly because it was based on the older Exia mold, and it was released later. But it really is not a bad mold. The only problem I really have with it is that it doesn't come with these cables there. Oh, you actually can't see them right now because it's zoomed out. Yeah. Anyway, right there. The fact that it doesn't come with those cables there is really my only qualm with the kit. So nobody should be surprised. I'm putting that in S tier. I'm putting that at the top of S tier. It's not moving. It's staying right there. Next is the Cherubim. I need a higher res version of this line art. It's definitely got a lot more sharp angles than even Dynamis, honestly. I really like this armor shape. These two antennae there are nice. I didn't like this sniper camera with the way that it folds up nearly as much as I like Dynamis. But the bits are nice. I wonder if I actually should have used the GN Heavy Weapons R version. Oh well, it doesn't matter that much. The arms have a bit of a bulky appearance, but specifically the fact that there's a little bit, right here you can see there's a bit of elbow articulation. Not elbow, like wrist articulation right there. That's very nice, especially in gunpla form. That's always appreciated. The GN hatchets also, the GN Pistol 2s, which have a hatchet mode, were very nice as well. And I really like that behind this armor you can just barely see the vents there, which also looks quite nice in gunpla form. And the missile launchers here are great. It's also, it was very interesting to me the fact that it's on the, like, this part coming from the butt is where the, GN drive is, as opposed to on the backpack. That was a very interesting idea to me. But I don't like it as much as Dynamis. Generally, I'll probably put the Season 2 mobile suits usually lower than the Season 1 mobile suits, just because I generally don't like their aesthetic as much. Next is Exia Repair. I love Exia Repair. Fans think they did Termin Exia. You can't see it here. Actually, I need to. Okay, let me look up for a second. You can't actually see the other eye in the line art. Oh, you still can't from there. I almost want to get the part set for the perfect grade when I end up getting the perfect grade, but the with the like the eye right there, that one eye, and the cable there, which by the way, that's from a Tierin. For those who didn't know, it gives a very menacing appearance, and I absolutely love it to death. The cloak replacing the broken, or the lost arm is amazing. The broken sword also has a very nice appearance to it. Interestingly, the high grade Exia actually molds in this proper inner frame part. It molds it in white instead of gray, but I know that very well because I actually made a custom build of the Exia Repair. I didn't like it as much as the original Exia when I first saw it, but honestly, at this point, I like it more than the original Exia. And then keeping with our Exia theme, next is the Exia Repair 2. I really like what this does to Exia. This sword I feel like suits Exia quite well. But then, well, I was slightly upset about the lack of cables on the shoulders. The lack of ones on the legs, giving this a more of a curve. I think it looks very, very nice. As well as the thrusters. You can't really see them, but the thrusters on the back there and on the back of the arms that you can barely see there, I think look absolutely amazing on the Exia Repair 2. As well as just the fact that it feels freshened up just a little bit. And I actually, once again, I didn't like it as much as the original Exia because it had less swords originally. But nowadays, I like it more. In fact, I like it more than Exia Repair. And is anybody really surprised that all of my top ones are Exia? No, nobody should be surprised about that. In fact, I almost feel like maybe I shouldn't have put the Exia Repair 2 in there because the Exia is close enough, but oh well. Next is the Raphael. I really like how you can easily see that it's GNZ line heritage. It's got an interesting vibe going there with the chin, as well as the almost horns there. And yes, for those who just heard, my notifications on my phone is Haro. One of my favorite things about it is the rifle. The rifle looks really nice. But also, I think the shoulders are very well proportioned to the rest of the body. The chest is pretty unique as well. Very interesting. The way that the I like the vibe of the larger thighs and the much thinner shins. The backpack at the top also makes it very unique. I'm a big fan of that. That's the Sarah V2. It also makes it unique for a Tierria mobile suit, as well as being the first Tierria mobile suit to be in Tierria's personal colors. And I do like it more than Virtue. Actually, let's put that there. Next is another, or is one of the less known ones, the G Cannon. Some may think this kind of looks like the what's it called? The Cannon mode of the Reborn's Gundam. And that is not unintentional, as the Cannon mode of the Reborn's Gundam is based on the GN Cannon. But also, this is clearly, especially considering GN can sometimes be pronounced gun. For instance, the GN Archer is sometimes Gun Archer. This is sometimes pronounced as Gun Cannon. So, its Gun Cannon appearance is not unintentional. But I do like a lot of things about it. Like the feet there have a unique vibe. That's the like short nature of them kind of makes it feel more stubby in a way that I really enjoy. As well as the you can see some part sharing with the Eyes Gundam there. But the way that the this part like juts forward is very nice. Pretty unique as well. It almost gives this like Armored Core vibes. Sorry about all the coughing. I was just sick, you know. But overall, it's not exactly my thing. Just get there. GMPRVP, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you before in my streams. Very herbal, yes. Got this one that's kind of purple. It should be more blue than that. I need to adjust the image, actually. This one's very purple, and this one's pretty purple as well. This one also is purple, but should be blue, as is this one. Why are those two purple? What on earth? Let me... Yeah, that's... Oh, it looks more blue there, but it should be completely just blue. It looks very purple right over here. That's weird. Anyway, moving on to another not that well-known one. Nodle Aquos. This was a Nodle upgrade designed to enhance the trial system as much as possible. I'm a big fan of the chest. It's got a very spiky appearance, which goes well with the spiky appearance of everything else. The GN face sword looks a little odd, but it also can, like Exia's sword, punch through GN shields. The ankle armor here looks very, very nice. And that, along with other pieces of armor and the more distinct coloration, serves to make Nodle feel a bit more like its own mobile suit and feel a bit less naked, I guess. It's also interesting to see Nodle without the face things. Interesting. Actually, I'll show you guys real quick. I'll show you a custom Nodle design that I made that I don't know if I've really shown to anybody except Emily, who is in the chat. But where is it? It was called Nodle Azil. Let's see. Oh, it's probably right over here. There it was. And here is it armed. Yeah, it's got Alex's... actually, come to think of it, that ends up being kind of similar to that. But it's got Alex's machine guns. It's got railguns similar to Freedom. And then here it's got a twin-barreled rifle or beam cannon on a shield and a rifle there. Taking the Chronomagis plate on the back of the head. Yes, that is... I don't know what Chronomage is, but it does look very nice. And once again, it helps to go with the very spiky aesthetic that this has, which is to enhance the trial system. But do I like it more than the original Nodley? Probably not, no. I think I like it just a little bit less. Okay, next. The Arios. Once again, I need to find a higher res version of this line art. I really like this like plate on the back of the arm. This like one plate of armor. That looks very nice. The V-fin there is very unique, and it gives it a very I forget the word. It's not aromatic, but it kind of sounds like it, I think. Aerodynamic. It gives it a very aerodynamic feel. I mean, the whole mobile suit does have that aerodynamic feel, while keeping... It's a Japanese top and a haircut. Ah, I see. Aerodynamic, yes. These pieces of armor there also look very nice. I'm not a big fan of the way there's just like kind of nothing right there. And yes, by the way, for those, notice the, my cursor is a Haro. I love this cursor. It's based on one that I found online, but I edited it a bit, like when I, when it loads and it turns into like spinning thing, it's a spinning Haro. Anyway, these parts there also I really like as well. They give a similar vibe to like the 00 Gundam. As well as these missile containers here make the thighs wider, which, you know, I'm a big fan of thick thighs in mobile suits. I feel like I might like this a little better if this of the lower two gold panels was orange, but eh. And the long chin is also nice. The longness of it overall, of the whole mobile suit, gives it a more aerodynamic feel. And this, the skirt armors are also one of the high points of it. But I will put this probably just barely above Charinum. Which actually I think I'll put down to C. Kills me to put anything in C or D, but it must be done. And then next is Harut. Specifically, this is with the, what's it called? The, like, booster pack, yes. Which, by the way, is almost impossible to find an actual Bandai kit of, especially because it was P Bandai. It's got a similar vibe to Arios, but I think it does that vibe a bit better. I really like the visor over the eye, and the big boosters, especially these big parts that go over the knees. It almost gives me Advanced Zeta vibes, and I'm all for it. I honestly don't know why I don't have one of these yet, because there is a company that makes a third-party version that I'm probably gonna get that also comes with scissor bits, unlike the Bandai one. So that should be cool. These black parts, black plates of armor there next to the cockpit are a big a part that I really like, as well as these parts here that almost remind me of the similar side vents on Kyrios. So that's very interesting. The overall, it keeps the very spiky appearance, but the boosters, I adore them. So it is going to get a bit of above that, probably right there. And next is Cerevi, which has the same horned appearance that Raphael inherited from it. I do like these knee-mounted cannons quite a bit. The big chunky shoulders, especially with these parts here, give the appearance that it's you know, nice and fat very well. Makes it feel very aerodynamic, whereas these thrusters here I'm a big fan of. Though in the design that I made based on this, it actually changed those out for gin condensers, but I'll stop talking about my designs because I don't want to annoy people. But the feet, I feel, have a similar vibe to Virtues with the way that they're low to the ground and very wide. It's very nice. You can't see it from here, but it's got, like, on the back of it, it's got a face. That was crazy to me when I first saw it. And I didn't like it that much then. But I do now. Yes, I am a huge fan of that at this point. Normally I'm not a big fan of a lack of skirt armor, but it looks fine here because of the cannons covering it up. And yeah, this actually is going to get probably right there. You know, I'm not a big fan of the heavily armored mobile suits generally. And Zabanya. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this design. It's got the nice toes that I just said his name. What was his name? Oh, Takayuki Yanase. I was about to search it up and then I remembered it. These two antennae there look very nice. I do also like how it has a combination of the Dynames and Cheridum versions of the sensor with the it both covering the eyes and then flipping this open. All the missiles just like all over in a very heavy arms like fashion is like, what's not to love about that, you know? And then these bits there give a very unique appearance that I like quite a bit. But also the way that it uses geometric shapes to make these sort of like almost curved parts, but just that aren't quite curved. I think it suits the mobile suit quite well, and it overall does a very good job of that. And it feels overall more like Dynames than put it right there. Not there. It feels more like Dynames than it is like Cheridum. Next is the Enact, one of the first mobile suits we see. Actually, I think it's literally the second mobile suit we see in Gundam 00 after the O Gundam. This one is definitely not a flag ripoff. Honestly, by all rights, I should like this more than the flag because I tend to really like these kind of like curvy designs. And it's basically a flag, but you know, nice and curvy. These are specifically the demonstration colors, which I chose because it's the first colors we see, and it is by far the most memorable. This also gets a boost to it because it's piloted by everybody's favorite invincible person, Patrick Kolesauer. That is legitimately a massive boost for me in how much I like it. Although, fun fact, when I first watched the show, I actually kind of hated Patrick Kolesauer. But it's got a similar defense rod, although it looks like this side is actually longer than this side. The rifle looks so much worse than the flags in every way. I actually think I do like this more than the flag, but less than the over flag. These shoulders are quite nice, as well as the head, which has a similar thing going on as the flag. These legs look very nice, but I'm not that big a fan of how tall that point is. It's not a flag ripoff. You're trying to replace their last flag ripoff. Well, I mean, the Hellion wasn't a flag ripoff. The Hellion was a Ronaldo ripoff. Though I don't actually know if the Hellion was a Ronaldo ripoff. In fact, the Hellion might predate the Ronaldo. But I'll put it probably right there. But next is another less known one. The CeraV 3G. This one is meant to extend the range of the trial system because it has, not only does it have the Seraphim, but it also has 2 SEMs. That's these white mobile suits that are in a Seraphim-like form. One would assume that these can fire as beam cannons like the ones on the Seraphim. But the all-black color scheme, I feel like that really actually suits this Seraphim, or the CeraV, a lot. Especially because it's just barely balanced out perfectly by the white of the SEMs. The SEM is the true gem of Gundam 00, by the way. I almost included in this one, but I decided not to. But yeah, I'll put that above the normal CeraV. Come on, right there. Next is the Curios Gust 3G, so named for being comprised of 4 parts. Indeed. But yeah, next is the Curios Gust, a high atmosphere variant of Curios. I'm a huge, massive fan of this rifle here. I love that so much. I would kill for Bandai to make a Curious Gust model kit, but instead we're left with only a third-party resin kit, and I do not have the necessary tools to make a resin kit. But yeah, the Curious Gust is one that I love a lot. I'm a big fan of these like boosters as well. As well as the fact that the flight mode actually looks significantly more like an airplane and less like a mobile suit doing yoga compared to Curios, which, by the way, I do actually love Curios' flight mode, but I'm still gonna make fun of it. I get to make fun of it because I love it. But yes, that'll go a bit above Curios. Honestly, a big part of that is just the rifle. I love that rifle so much. Next is the Charlton Gundam Saga. Fun fact, the Charlton Gundam Saga was actually the first gunpla I ever built. And I immediately customized it. This is like a stealth version of the Charlton. And I must say, there's a lot of things here that I absolutely love. First of all, probably, I realize it's partly, if not mostly, because it was the first one that I built, but or in gunpla form. But I do really like the designs that have a lot of guns, like this, or like the command, the 00 Command Quanta. It's a very nice sort of design. I'm a big fan of this shield, as well as the 2 guns on the knees. For those curious, how I customized mine was, well, first I swapped out this chest for the other chest, the original Charlton chest, because this thing actually comes with an entire Charlton. It comes with all the Charlton parts that aren't used. I gave it the GN Sniper Rifle, or GN Sniper Rifle 2 rather, there, although they didn't really have a place to put it. And all of the bits on the backpack, except I put one of the bits on the knees on there instead of these guns. And then later I also added a smoothbore gun from the Tallgeese. Although right now it has several different modifications, so I removed these guns on the skirt armor, the original GM pistols, so that I could attach them to Robot Feet's Dynamez, because Dynamez actually doesn't come with the GM pistols, which I think sucks a lot. I think I did not put one of these back, but I put the GN Carbine on this shoulder, and then the GN Sniper Rifle on this shoulder, and then I put all of the bits on the back with wings as well, very small wings. And the V-fin broke, so I replaced it with the original Charlton V-fin. and I called it Cherubim Gundam Gunner. But yeah, Cherubim Gundam Saga is one that I am a big fan of. Definitely more so than the original Cherubim. I think enough to put it in B tier. And next is the Seraphim. I actually like this one quite a bit. The shoulders look very nice. The arms, the way they're comprised of just like one piece, but specifically the way that this like thing goes back there, I'm addicted to like the elbow armor going past the elbow, which is definitely because of Shoji Kawamori, particularly Macross and Armored Core designs. That's one of the things he really likes to do. But also these knees look very nice. They have a lot of the things that I like about the 00, but I think they actually do it better, in my opinion. These thrusters there also look quite nice. And these there give a similar vibe to the vents in a similar placement on the Kyrios. The clavicle antenna being the V fin of the face just makes so much sense as well. The chest face, of course. Which also makes this look more like a Gunman. Called Seraphim, a true Gundam twink, but is more of a Gundam child. That is true. And I will put it probably there. I actually really like the Seraphim. Now, the GN Archer, or as we'll call it, or pronounce it, the Gun Archer. But I much prefer GN Archer. These smaller wings on the knees and the overall small feet, I really enjoy, as well as the thigh armor there. That curved thigh armor looks very nice. This is what I was actually. I used these legs and this backpack for quite a while in my building Gundam Breaker 2 way back in the day. Once again, we've got that same sort of vent there that I really like. This cockpit, the way it's just slightly lighter red is just, it's so good. That slightly lighter color. I'm a big fan of these two guns on the arms. I think they look, the two of them together look very nice. And the visor looks very cool, especially you can actually still see the eye there. This sort of like almost ponytail or mohawk there look quite nice as well. But also the backpack looks very, very nice. A lot of people like to call this the gym of Gundam 00, and I can see why. And a bit right about there. No, there. Yeah, Gundam 00 had a lot of interesting things. By the way, I did not include the Dynamez torpedo, because it's literally just the Dynamez with the torpedo launcher and a radome on the shoulder. Next is the Alvaron. So, as you guys might know, this was sort of the, the final boss of Season 1. We don't have any model kit of this at all. In Gundam Breaker 2, you fight this thing as a perfect grade version. We don't even have a high grade in real life. I think that is actually a crime. I think that is terrible. That is awful. I hate that. Why don't we have a high grade of this? We definitely should. Even if you're not going to give us the Alvador, just give us the Alvaron, please. I mean, you could even make like a P-Bandai version that has a mirror coating, just please give us the Alvaron. I will do anything. Anyway, I do think the head looks a little odd, but it does have a bit of a menacing appearance. The shoulders look very odd, and I don't like them. But the wings look pretty nice. Also, by the way, the cannon mode of the wings of the Eyes Gundam is called the Alvaron cannon, because it's based on the same principle as the Alvaron's cannon for its wings. These guns look actually amazing. I love these. But the forearms at least look quite nice. The legs look okay, but the side skirt over there looks quite nice. The chest looks a little odd. I'm not that big a fan of it, but I would like to have it in Gunpla form. I would love to. I would love to buy it and give Bandai money, but no. But it is at least gonna get B tier, probably there. No. More like, no, I'll give it kind of C tier. Yeah, that's good. Next is the Double O Quanta, which, might I say, the developer lineup for looks absolutely fantastic. That's what we're looking at here. Particularly this June canister there in the developer lineup looks quite nice. It takes a lot of inspiration from both Double O and Exia. I definitely don't like it as much as Exia, but I probably like it a bit more than the Double O. It keeps the Gundam tradition of bits mounted on the left side here. The sword bits themselves, by the way, are very nice looking. And the head is also quite nice. You can see it's got like a lot of the aspects of both Exia and Double O. Definitely very intentional. The side skirt armor looks very nice. The way that this overall like flows like that looks quite nice as well. And then the knees and this flap here especially looks gives a nice vibe, and it adds a bit of adding a bit of color there balances out the color scheme quite nice. I think were it given ankle armor, I think it could look a little better. But overall, I'm quite fond of it, especially the cockpit actually there looks very nice. And I'll put it just barely above the Double O, but I do think I should probably move this down to A, because we shouldn't have that many in S. Netsui Ayahoshi, I am always EP. Always. Okay, the Jinx 4. Actually, I want to do the Jinx 3 before I do the Jinx 4, so let's put the Jinx 4 like over here. Actually, I also want to do the Jinx 3 before the head, so let's put that there. Okay, the Jinx 3. So this, honestly, like, despite the fact that it's mostly the Jinx, it's a complete downgrade to me. The Lance was pretty cool, but you took away the X on the GNX. It also took away things like this bit of a spike there. And the color scheme I'm not that big a fan of. It is nice that the ALOS have their own color scheme, kind of like the, what's it called? Kind of like the Titans color scheme. The ALOS are clearly inspired by the Titans from Zeta. But yeah, it's so similar to the normal Jinx, but it manages to kill the vibe so much. So I'll put it down there. And next, the Sakibure. So as I mentioned before, I actually don't know if this is a mobile suit or powered armor. I could really see it being either. But I do like these like leg-mounted wings. They're quite nice. And it does get bonuses. I'm a big fan of mobile suits that are not designed for combat. And this, even if it is power armor, it counts. And I'm also, like I said, I'm really not sure if it is power armor or not. But let me mute myself to blow my nose real quick. Okay, nose is blown. The proportions of the chest are a bit odd, but that actually is one of the things that makes me feel like it's power armor. They feel like power armor proportions. I do actually like the feet a decent amount. So where shall I put this? Right there seems good. Actually, let me look it up. Probably not a type there. Sakibure. Okay, let's see what this has to say. Okay, it says that it's officially classified as a work letter due to the fact that it was not built for combat, but because of its high performance, it's regarded by many people as a mobile suit. Apparently designed by Tenji Teraoka. It doesn't say. It doesn't say how large it is. I guess we should probably assume that it is mobile suit sized. Anyway. Next will be the a head. This thing has crazy proportions, especially considering this is like the size of a normal mobile suit. Actually, I think it's a bit taller. The shield is an interesting shape. I actually do like that quite a bit. I also like these thrusters a decent amount. But other than that, there's not honestly that much that I like. The feet are pretty nice. But overall, it's just like, it's weird, and it's weird in all the wrong ways. Easy D tier. Okay, the ELS Double Quanta. I fucking love this thing so much. So first of all, the way that these joints look is amazing. The hand sculpting is also great. The lack of gold, I actually like quite a bit. These things on the backpack are just stunning in appearance. The overall, like, organic appearance here. The only thing I don't like is the fact that the, it doesn't have any front skirt armor at all, which I'm not a fan of. But also, like I said, mobile suits that aren't meant for war, I love that. In fact, I like this probably more than the original Exia. I might even put it there. No, but I like it more than the original Exia. That's how much I love that thing. Okay, the Gundam Throne Ein, which I think was the only throne that I put in here. No, oh, it looks like I put all of them in here. Neat. Except the Veer, because that's technically not canon at all. But anyway, I like the storage of the beam sabers there for one. The overall circular appearance of the head was a big thing that I really liked, as well as the what's it called? The like antenna. Yeah, there's like a big antenna there, and then this like shield there also looks nice. The beam gun looks pretty nice too. The thing is, so first of all, you can definitely tell this is not Hirawashio. Zeta Alpha Crystal. Mr. Revolution, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you in the stream before, but I do not know what you're referencing, sadly. But the big cannon there is also nice. Crystalline VT status. Oh! Crystal, if you're watching, hello, hi. But it does the, compared to, like, all the Iron Blooded Orphans things, which also had, like, the Barabatos was also designed by Naohiro Ashio. Gems to me. Cool, hello, thank you for, the, basically, raid. But yeah, I feel like it does the, like, really small waist aesthetic way better than anything from Iron Blooded Orphans. Which, Like, I get the way Armada Reference is doing it, but personally, I kind of don't like the, like, exposed frame in the entire waist, which I understand why a lot of people do. Definitely not saying that you shouldn't like that, but I'm not a big fan. I feel like the Thrones do it way better. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the feet, which look a bit odd. But overall, the way this, like, flows, and especially this, like, point there, I really like the Thrones. Let's see, where do I put this? Probably, like, there. And next is the Advanced Jinx. I actually don't know why I haven't gotten any model to this yet, even though they're P-Band 9 really expensive. But I love the Advanced Jinx. These parts there are, like the fence rods there, are great. The antenna fits the Jinx so well. It keeps the, like, X-shaped thrusters, which is nice, and then also these thrusters there on the thighs are great. I love them. Oh, actually, I think I forgot to mention, this is not directly related to this mobile suit, but I forgot to mention that this is just my, like, personal opinion about which mobile suits I like the most. So please don't get angry when you say, oh, but the 00 Quanta should be a #1 spot because you could beat any of these other ones. Well, the thing is, I don't care if you could beat them. I realize that otherwise, Exia Repair would probably be in C tier. The Ronaldo and well, these would stay where they are, but every flag variant and Enact would be in D tier with it. I don't care about which is more powerful. It's just about which I personally like more. And also, like, I'm not saying that Exia Avalanche is objectively a better design than the Hellion. I just which I like better. I forgot to get out of the way earlier, so just because sometimes people will get angry at me and I want to avoid that. But also this back to this mobile suit, this long rifle, I kind of like the design of better than the normal Jinx long rifle. But I mean, both are amazing. And also the red and white, this is basically my color scheme. It also happens to be the Deborah Galena color scheme, but that gives it a nice up for me, and that definitely is enough to push this into S tier, and in fact, I like it that much. Maybe even that much. No. Let's keep Exia in front of it for now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. But next is the 00 Quanta Full Saber. So, compared to the normal 00 Quanta, so apparently this was supposed to stabilize the 2GN drives, just like the, O-Riser, but it kind of just wasn't needed. The drives stabilized themselves on their own because they were built for stabilization in the first place. But it does kind of keep that same, like, winged appearance of the 00 Gundam, which is nice. And I do like the appearance of these handguns when they're in handgun mode. As well as the fact that it's a neat design to, you know, give this 7 actually usable swords. But overall, it kind of makes the design feel, like, not as, like, well balanced to me. And I don't mean, like, physically balanced, although that apparently was a problem with it in universe. But, like, it feels less well balanced as a design. So I'll put it right there. Okay, now for another not very well-known one. The Throne Varanus. So technically this is a throne, but you can tell that it's not in two ways. So, first of all, it's not called Gundam Throne Varanus. And also, its model number doesn't start with GNW, it starts with GNX, because this is actually the prototype of the Jinx. Hence these massive X-shaped GN Baroners. I really, really, really like this gun, though. And you can tell in some ways that this is like a very prototype mobile suit, like the beam sabers right there. It's just kind of stuck there, which is kind of funny, but it works. I really like the shoulders, and this carries a lot of what I like about the thrones, while also bringing more that I like about the Jinx into the design. But overall, I think I like this just a little bit less than the Ein. It would be interesting to try and make that in model form, though. Okay, next is the Ahead Sakibure, which, by the way, is kind of funny considering Sakibare literally translates to ahead, so this thing is technically called ahead. Fun fact, since this is piloted by Grandmaker and Grandmaker is left-handed, the shield is in the right arm. But I will say I like this more than the standard ahead. These vertical position thrusters are nice. The bandana it's so stupid. It's like a power cable, but it's so stupid, but it's just so cool at the same time. I can't not like it. But it also inherits a lot that I don't like about the ahead. So I'm gonna put it. I will put it definitely above the normal ahead. Probably above the Ronaldo too, but still it's gonna go in D tier. Doing anything to get ahead? Indeed. Next is the ahead Simultron. So I actually like this. This might surprise some people who know that I like swords and, you know, samurai stuff, but I actually like the ahead Simultron more than the ahead Sakigake. Namely, I really like these thrusters here, here, and here. They kind of remind me, they give me like Advanced Zeta vibes, which is always a good thing. The visor here looks quite nice. And this gun also, it kind of reminds me of a Nerf gun that I have. The shield I don't like as much as the ahead Sakigake shield, but it is enough to barely put this in C tier. Okay, next is the what's it called? The Egg Zero Repair 3. It's kind of funny, but the only line art we have of this, the like foot is like kind of cut off because it's like a page of a book, so it's like curving in, and this is like that's the only scan we have as far as I know, which is kind of funny. At some point I will make a version where I redraw that, but that's for another time. This like a little bit of light there looks very nice. The shoulders I actually really love, as well as these new knees. The sniper rifle, honestly, I'm not a big fan of. I kind of feel like it doesn't, yeah, Gui's EFT moment. Oh, let me look that up. I don't remember which version that is of the Gui's. Oh, experimental firearms type, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that did, yeah. But I kind of, like, I feel like the rifle doesn't suit Exia that much. But overall, I think I'd put it right there. I also feel like maybe I should put the 00 Gundam down here. And probably I'll put Nadle Aquos and Nadle in B tier to balance things out a bit. Okay, next. The 00 Gundam 7 Swords G Inspection version. So some of you might be wondering, wait, why is the 007 Swords red? Especially because the 7 Swords became a bit more well known, especially after it was put in both Gundam Breaker and, more importantly, the Gundam Extreme series. But this version actually is, the red is a canon version. This is the inspection version, which basically just made it red. Because it's the G, it does also have the gun, but that's not shown in the line art for whatever reason. You guys should already know, I love this color scheme. This is basically my personal color scheme. Just change this gold here to a nice cyan, and maybe add a bit more cyan in a few other places, and that's basically my color scheme. The sword also looks nice, but overall I don't like it as much as the riser. Even though it's red, I'm still gonna have to put it below the riser. By the way, for those curious as to exactly what my color scheme looks like, I can show you with the old design of my mobile suit, which actually I think I might even still have up, like, I don't think I have to show it there. I think I still have it on my, like, wait, let's see, oh, I actually still have it right over here in my OBS. Yes. This is my mobile suit, Epigos. Let me put it in the white background, or a bit more of a white background. So yeah, now you can easily see that's exactly what my color scheme is. Although this version actually has gold on it, which I changed later. Anyway, back to the actual tier list. Next is the Gundam Throne Dre. The Dre, I don't like this like weird xenomorph head that much. I do really like this like underslung gun though. I actually love that. This is also, it did have a nice like appearance when it came right at the start. Like right when you first see it, the GM stealth system has a very nice appearance, and also it's still a throne, so it still looks nice. But I will put it definitely below the Varnus. In fact, I think I'll put it below Dynamis. Okay, next is the Jinx 4. Let's put that right there though. The Jinx 4. This one, it's interesting how you can see it, how now that Celestial Being is no longer considered to be, you know, like evil. The throne's gonna have somewhat more Gundam-like appearance, like the V-fin, which it always had, just below the head or the head's armor, as well as like skirt armor. So this becomes a very interesting design because it starts to integrate Gundam-like design or design elements into it. These thrusters here alongside this part look nice, but overall I do like this definitely more than the 3, but definitely less than the 1. I think right there is a good place to put it. Okay, now is the XN Riser. By the way, I actually have the real grade of this, which is P-Band I pre-ordered. I'll definitely let you guys know when it comes in, and I'll probably do a review video. At some point soon, I'll be doing a review video of the high-grade O Gundam. So look forward to that when I finally get around to filming that. I just have so much work to do all the time. But anyway, the XN Riser is a very interesting design for me. In some ways, it kind of almost feels like a clusterfuck, but overall, I do really like it. Adding more weapons, I don't feel like it's exactly necessary, but it definitely, I don't feel like it hurts the design at all. Masami, hello, welcome to the stream. The fact that the line art uses the developer version line art as the base is definitely a bonus. And then also these wings there look very nice. So this actually, I think, is just barely going to get above the riser. Next is the Gundam Throne Zwei. I'm okay now. Yep, mostly. I still feel... So, and this actually should be addressed to everyone, really. I still feel this the tiniest bit sick, but clearly I'm feeling well enough to stream, and I'm also... I'm even feeling well enough to go to work later, so that's good. I'm basically, well. So I hope you were not worried about me. I'm sorry for getting sick again. And I'm sorry I feel bad for Devil May Cry 3 stream number 8 because I had to cancel it twice. I'll make sure to do it next week, even though next week will be part of Monkey Month. Monkey Month is where I do a bunch of monkey-related stuff. But back to this design. The GN Buster Sword is great. You know, it's a big sword. Actually, by the way, I do really like this piece of armor there. I didn't mention it, but it's on all of them. It's got the same sort of gun as the Dry, but it's in the left hand as not to get as much in the way of the sword. I actually do also really like this one, but I think I like it just a little bit less than the Ein. And that's all 4 thrones that exist in canon. Technically there's 5, but that last one isn't canon. Technically there's kind of 6. Wait. Hang on. Did I somehow... I think I missed a very important mole suit. Hang on. Yep. I'll add it right now. Robot Feet would be so upset with me if I didn't do that one. And I actually don't have any line art of it at all. I don't know how this oversight could happen. Okay. There we go. I'll do that on the sooner side of things. Okay, so this is one of the definitely less well-known ones. This one is called the Neo Head. However, notice it lacks a head. It doesn't have a head. It's based on the test data of a head Sakigake and a head Simultron. Because of its lack of a head, the Neo Head got the nickname No Head, because it has no head. I actually like this one a decent amount, more than most head-based things. It's a good design for a heavy mobile suit. I'm a massive, huge fan of this beam rifle. I love it so much. The sword on the back is also quite nice, and also this thruster there. But mostly it's this sword. It's just so cool. And the idea of a mobile suit not having a head is an interesting one, so I gotta give it points for that. I'll put it right there. Or maybe, yeah, right there. Okay, the Gundam Rizal. Fun fact, a long while ago they made a first grade of this, and I absolutely need it. But the Gundam Rizal is an interesting one. It's got several interesting design elements. So these feet kind of remind me of Nadle. The big like pointy bits there are odd, but they work with the rest of the design quite well. These almost look like thrusters or vents on the shoulders are very nice. I love these pieces of armor here. The V-fin is of an interesting shape, and it works well with the rest of the head, especially these little vents there. These vents here are also quite nice. The cockpit is a bit of an odd shape, but you know what? I kind of like it. And then these vents there are also nice. But then, and this one is got a nice big pelvis piece. It's got a big dick energy going on. And then the legs flow together nicely. Definitely Season 1 vibes. I will give it B tier. Actually, I should probably put him back down at B tier as well. A tier is getting a bit too crowded. And I might put him in C and him as well. I might have to put him in B at some point. Okay, the Gundam Artemy. This is one of the strangest non-build looking mobile suits that exist. Those with a keen eye might notice this looks a lot like the GN Archer, which would be because the Artemy's frame was reused for the GN Archer. I do like this gun with the blades on it quite a bit. The 4 wings that you can see 2 of there are nice. The B Stinger GN Drive looks odd, and I don't know if I like it, but overall, you know, this has got a B theme to it, so it's at the very least permissible. And then these flowing curves here are very, very nice, as well as the ones here. Overall, oh, and it's kind of got a like Uwu type face, you know. This thing, hang on, let me make a text layer to show you guys how I view its face. That's it. I actually just tried to make an image. I'm so dumb. That's the wrong thing. I need to make a text file. Alright, text file with text overlay. See? That's its face. My favorite Gundam mechas, they're awesome. Yes, I agree. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. At some point, I'll also do the similar thing to this for Macross Mecha. That'll be a giant one, because I'll be doing all the Destroids and all the Valkyries and all the Centrati Mecha. It'll be great. This will go probably there. That seems like a good place for it. Okay, next is the Arche Gundam. This is one that Robot Feet really likes. So, I have a lot of different opinions on this. So the feet, I absolutely despise these feet. They look ugly as sin. I hate these. I hate them so much. The arms are... I like their shape, and the fact that they're nice and long is definitely interesting, but for my personal tastes, they're too long. It keeps a lot of what I really like about the thrones, though, and in fact improves upon some of it. Like, this V-fin looks great. I really like this thruster there, and these fins there look quite nice as well. But I'm definitely going to put it below all the rest of the thrones. Probably like... Man, now I kind of feel bad for giving it such a low place. Like there. Robot Feet's going to absolutely despise me there. Going to bed now and enjoy your hydrate. Yep. Have a good night's rest. Eat well. I'm gonna put this a bit sooner. Okay, this is the Brave. Technically, this is the Brave Commander test type. A lot of things I really like about this. The head, obviously, it's flag vibes. Very nice. The arms look a little less odd than the flags, which is both an upside and a downside, I suppose. The feet look very odd. At first I didn't like them, but I really am starting to like them now, recently. Particularly in the mobile armor mode or other fighter mode. The fact that it's got this sort of drive arrangement, like the Susanoo, could even potentially indicate that it has a twin drive. I'll go over that later, but or multiple GN drives. I'm guessing it might have 2 GN drives run in parallel, which would give double the drive power, whereas obviously a twin drive gives the drive power squared. Which, to illustrate that difference, if we assume a drive output of 100 particles per second, a normal GN drive would give 100 particles per second, obviously. 2 GN drives would give 200, and a twin drive would give 10,000. So that's kind of a big difference. But overall, I definitely like that less than the flag. I think I'll put it right there. It's definitely very cool. Well, no, probably there. Yeah, it's definitely very cool, though. Okay, the Astraea Type F. Actually, this is the Astraea Type F2. I think I decided to include this instead of the F because it's a bit more unique. So, I love this V-fin. I absolutely adore that V-fin. Compared to Exia, I don't like these vents as much, or the cockpit. I like this V-fin more, and I really love these massive clavicle antenna. I like these like larger, like rabbit ears more, but I don't like this part here more. I like the vents on Exia more. The red color is very interesting. I think I'll give it probably bottom of S tier. No. Maybe like there. Overall, it just doesn't have the same vibe as Exia. Okay, the Jinx 4 ELS type. I love this thing so much. So with the one eye there that moves, and especially the one eye in the GN condenser, that gives this such a menacing appearance, especially with its overall like very lanky form. This thing looks terrifying. I love that so much. It's also interesting that when you look at its GN drive carefully, you notice that it doesn't have any moving parts, which means the ELS actually improved the GN drive to make it more efficient. One would assume. William Choi, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you before. Horror indeed. Yeah, the ELS started going with that bit of a horror element in Awakening of the Trailblazer, and I really like that. I definitely like this design more than the original Jinx 4. In fact, I think I like it enough to put it in A tier, which means I'm going to have to bump this down to B tier. Okay, the Gadessa. I love the GNZ series in general. This is my favorite of the ones that appeared in the show, I think. The big shoulders have a nice vibe to them, especially with these things there. The little spikes here I'm not a big fan of. But the long, lanky, and especially the way the legs flow, I love these legs so much. And the chest, too. I don't know why Bandai refuses to reprint these. But it saddens me greatly. However, these feet, especially these thrusters there, look amazing. The head, some part, like this, the way this dome part looks odd, but other than that, looks amazing. And the core fighter there, not exactly in the core anymore, but it still looks quite nice and functions very well. And other than this like weird spike here, I really like the arms as well. I definitely like this a lot. Probably enough to put it above these. Yeah, right here looks good. And then another GNZ series, the Gadess. I like the head more, the like lopsided, I guess is the right word, appearance I like. The sword looks pretty nice. It's a leaf-bladed sword. Leaf-bladed swords are great. I don't know how much a leaf-bladed sword would actually matter compared to a normal sword when we're in the context of Mecha, but it looks cool at any rate. These, I believe these were bits, but they look quite nice as well. The skirt armor is one of the main things I like about this more than the Gadessa. But I do think overall I might like the Gadessa more. Well, it's hard to say. Perhaps I like this more. I do like both of them quite a bit. This one stuck out to me a lot, but to be fair, if it wasn't... No, not to give any spoilers, but if this wasn't very important to one of the most heart-wrenching scenes in any media ever, maybe it wouldn't have stuck out as much, but at any rate, it did. And we've reached 2 lines with a row, so hooray. Next is the Gundam Plutonate. I really, really want Bandai to reprint the P-Bandai Plutonate because I will buy it when they do that. But no, they refuse. I really like these like back arm pieces. The leg structure is very unique and different from anything else, both in and out of universe. First, in universe, it needs to be powered to like stand up properly. So when it's not powered, the legs collapse into a shorter form, which is a very interesting concept. In universe, the way that you get like this piece of armor and this piece of armor in front of the rest of the leg looks very nice. These things here, these seem to be GN Veroners, these thrusters there and there, means it could probably evade incredibly well, and I really like that. The number of cables and the placement of them is very nice, as well as the cockpit look great. And this one, I believe, actually has a core fighter. Let me check that real quick. Let's see. Yes, it does. Isn't F2 also Red Exia? So the F2 was Exia's prototype. Let me look up the original. And probably the Type F as well. So it is definitely based on Exia. So Exia is interesting because it was based on the Estrella, which let me like I said, let me grab a few images of that. So first of all, before I do that, the Plutonade does in fact have a core fighter, which is nice, and it also carries the GN drive. So this is the Estrella. This is the prototype for Exia. It was interestingly a general purpose machine, and Exia inherited most of its frame. You can see that this is mostly the Exia design. The shoulders are different, the arms are different, the skirt armor is different. There's some differences in the waist and the legs, and the head is different, but mostly this is basically the same as if I load up the Exia design next to it, these are mostly the same. So that was used by Ferritsheet with the developed into the Type F, which mostly had color changes but also had a sensor mask. And then Fonspec took some spare parts for Exia and developed that. That is still that. And developed the Type F into the Type F2. So you are right that it definitely has some parts that are more similar to Exia. Namely, the arms and legs are similar to Exia, and also apparently the antenna has some Exia parts to it. So it definitely has a lot of Exia in it, but it's not just Exia. It does have more to it than that. Anyway, Plutone, I think we'll get high A, like right there. Or maybe, no. Right there is good. Next, speaking of prototypes, this is the Salusud Type F, which is the Ferritsheet version of the prototype for Dynames. Unlike Dynames' sniping role, this thing was entirely focused on sensors. It's got sensors there, big sensor there, and sensor there. As well as another sensor right there. I actually want to make a one of these out of a Dynames. I do have a Dynames here that I actually haven't built a full shield system for yet. I've either built a full shield system for it or turned it into Salusud. I'll probably decide when I don't have so much on my plate and I have more free time. But yeah, I really like this like arm thing that is the big sensor. I think it works very well. And once again, you can definitely tell like Dynames reused most of this frame. The knee frame is used, although it's different. The legs are mostly the same, and the chest end is mostly the same. And the arms are basically identical, with different things loaded on the shoulder points. Also, interesting thing is right here it looks really, really purple, but when you look over here, I mean, actually, that still looks too purple. It's supposed to be just blue. Let me show you what colors it's supposed to be. I don't know why my line art got messed up. So this is the colors that the Gundams that lasted is supposed to be, compared to this. I don't know why my line art is so purple. I need to fix that. Soupy, hello. It's going to get... Actually, right here seems good. Or maybe more like B tier, high B tier. Perhaps more like there. Yeah. Okay, next is the other TRN in this list. Well, technically 1 out of 3 tier, or 2 out of 3 TRNs. This is the TRN Tauzi. First of all, I love this gun with the blades on it. I also absolutely adore these arm hardpoints with the big thrusters. Cannot remain. Good luck to you, Soupy. May your silliness prosper. But this container on the back I like in a similar reason for why I like the big containers in the legs of the space type. Speaking of the legs, I also really do like the legs. And the big cockpit. It keeps a lot of the utilitarian aspect of the original TRN. But it just, how do I phrase it? While keeping a lot of that utilitarian aspect, it really does make it feel more advanced and powerful, especially with the linear seat. I absolutely love the TRN Tauzi. I do not know why I don't have... Oh yeah, I remember why I don't have a model of it, because Bandai never reprints it. I'll put it right there. Or... yeah, right there. Okay, here's and the Susanoo, which, by the way, I have a Susanoo torso and head in my hands right now. I was building that last night. Before I actually talk about... Oh, no, actually, let's talk about what I really like about it before. So, it's got very flag-like vibes, particularly with these arms and the overall thin appearance. I really like these feet. They're very interesting and unique. And the head also, with these big, like samurai-like crest. And once again, you've got the stupid, but very, very cool cable that's, you know, like a bandana. And then we've got these things. What's the deal with them? I'm pretty sure the deal with them is that this thing is a twin drive mobile suit. We're told the only thing it can really compare to a twin drive in output is another twin drive. And this thing can compare to the 00 Gundam in output. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Billy Katagiri found out how to mimic the twin drive before the innovators. Or rather, the innovates who call themselves innovators. Because, I mean, he did the same thing with Trans Am for this machine. So it's not a stretch to think he might have done the same thing with the twin drive system. So that's my little fan theory, is that these are the GN drives. I mean, and that it's got a twin drive system specifically. But yeah, this is very flag inspired. To the point, it's even got a flag head inside this head. Which, by the way, is fully reproduced in the model kit, which I was very surprised about, considering it's just a high grade. These things help to bulk up the arms a little bit to make it look a little more normal. Though it's not shown on this side for whatever reason, which is interesting. But either way, I really like this thing, and I'll put it definitely above that flag, and probably even above this flag right there. Next, oh, I do have the original Estrella in here. Hey, I didn't think I did that. Nice. So this has, I think, more differences from the original Exia. Actually, this different head camera is interesting, but is the Chronicle 00 series canon? I believe it is. I haven't actually seen it, but from what I've heard about it, I think it is. The 00 Revealed Chronicle with the Exia device. It looks very cool, but my first instinct is to say it's probably not canon. Which, to be fair, if it's not canon, that's actually, I think, good, because that when things aren't canon, a lot of people tend to go, oh, it's not canon, that's a bad thing, how dare you say my favorite thing isn't canon? And this is very common with, like, people who really like the Gundam Thunderbolt anime. They'll get really angry when people say, oh, well, actually, Gundam Thunderbolt's not canon, and people get really angry, like, how dare you say that the Gundam Thunderbolt's not canon? But I think Gundam Thunderbolt not being canon is a good thing, because for Gundam Thunderbolt, because it means Gundam Thunderbolt has a lot more room to be itself. A good example of this is Star Wars Visions. It was a Star Wars anime series, and they didn't even try to be canon, not from the start. And that was great because it let the animators, like animation studios, express themselves within the Star Wars universe without having to worry about, oh, does this actually fit in with the canon? So I really don't think not being canon is a bad thing at all. And so my first instinct with 00 Revealed Chronicle is to say that it's probably not canon. It doesn't. Those designs don't feel to me like they would be canon, especially with what we know about the development of the GN Buster Sword. That doesn't seem to fit with that, but it also could be. I don't really know. But I didn't think to include it in this tier list, partly because it doesn't have line art. Also, we don't need more Exia in here. We've already got, if you want to include the Estrellas, you've got 7 Exias in here. The Estrellas technically aren't Exia, but anyway, this one I definitely like the least out of them. Never really knew about the double drive system. So interestingly, we actually definitely see multiple drives in the original show. Let me The Alvator has like 8 GN drives. Let's see, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the Alvator has 7 GN drives. And like, those are not, we're not going to say that those are in a twin drive system, but the way it works, as to my understanding, once again, assuming that each drive gives 100 particle output, which obviously it gives way more than 100 particles per second, probably in the level of millions per second, but assuming 100 particles per second to make it easier, GN drive mobile suit, which is 1 GN drive, say Exia, would give 100 particles per second, obviously. Something with 2 GN drives, like how I'm assuming where did I put it? Right there. Like how I'm assuming the Brave Commander test type works. I believe this is 2 GN drives, which would be the double drive. That would give 200 particles per second, and this one would give 700 particles per second. Whereas the 00 Gundam, with its twin drive system, would give 10,000 particles per second, I believe. Let me just double check that to make sure I'm not stupid. Is it 1,000? No, it's 10,000. Yeah, it's 10,000. I'm not dumb. I'm smart. I can do simple math. Yeah, this would give 10,000 particles per second. This would give 200 particles per second, and this would give 700 particles per second. But this thing is going to go probably there. No, probably there, actually. Okay, so next is... Oh, and by the way, I did put the Type Fs for all of these, but for all of the parachute mobile suits, or the Type F2s and the normal, but I did not for this one, because it doesn't have the Type F2, and the Type F of the Apul is literally just a recoloring of the original. And then there literally is no Type F of the Plutone. This thing looks very interesting. It's got a Garwalk-like appearance, which does make the fighter mode look very fighter-like. It just looks like a fighter jet. It's got that same sort of like mohawk as the Kyrios. The Kyrios definitely uses a lot less Apul than Exia Dynames use of the Estrella or Sadlasud. Or Sadlasud? Sadlasud. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. This thing is still pretty cool, though it's very unique. And I do actually like it a decent amount. Where am I gonna put this? Probably right there. Next is the GRM Gundam. I absolutely love the GRM Gundam. This is honestly one of the reasons I needed to reprint the Cadessa, because I need to use that to make the GRM Gundam. I love this gun for one. The shield is also quite nice. It's got a lot of what I love about the legs from the GNZ series and the skirt armors, as well as the shoulders and chest, because it is in general this is a GNZ mobile suit. Its model number is GNZ-001, despite being a Gundam. But then the V-fin works really well with the rest of the head and makes it look a little less weird. And the Zeta-like backpack also looks nice, and it doesn't have that weird spike that I don't really like on the arm. Do you remember double drive being mentioned in the anime? I don't think it was specifically mentioned. I don't remember where I heard about it, honestly. It might have been in 00V, which was the MSV of 00, which is, I believe, where GRM Gundam's from. I read 00V a long while ago, a translation made by, I think it was Zeonic Scanlations. Let's put this here, actually. No, here. I really like GRM Gundam. But yeah, double drive really is just 2 GN drives working at the same time. They're not like synchronizing or anything, like the twin drive. Like a double drive is just 2 GN drives working at the same time, and then a triple drive is just 3 of them working at the same time. We're not, I don't, like I said, I don't think we were directly, I don't think it was directly mentioned in the anime. It is in Chronicle? Huh. Well, like I said, I haven't watched Chronicle, and I definitely knew about that before Chronicle was a thing. So I'm sure it was mentioned somewhere else before. It might have been in OOV as well. But it's interesting to know that they did directly say it in Chronicle. I should really watch that, but I don't know if anybody's translated that yet, and I don't speak Japanese well enough to understand all of it. Mostly, my Japanese is very limited in a knowledge of, like, highly technical words. Anyway, the Gaga. Technically a Gen Z series, but you can only really tell by the head. I do like its, like, weird feet hands. They're so silly. The shoulders are also nice. The head has a very interesting and unique appearance. Its legless appearance is very interesting as well. Because it was only for space, I guess. I mean, that wouldn't really matter because it's a GN mobile suit and they can hover in the atmosphere, but you can actually also tell it's GNZ lineage from the chest a bit. But this thing is very weird, but I do like it. The arms are very thin. These honestly look more like legs than they do like arms. It's on Gundam Info. Is it translated into English? Where am I gonna put this? Probably right there. Or there. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, if it's translated in English, then I'll definitely watch it when I get the chance. So when I have time, honestly. Yeah, thanks for informing me about that. Okay, the ANF. The child soldier murderer. Actually, I was almost considering using the what was it called? I keep misremembering its name. It has been ever since. Nice. What was it called? I don't remember. Phanton. Yeah, I almost included the Phanton, which has more armor. This gun is like extends off to like there, and it's got a glaive thing. The ANF was basically a monkey model of the Phantoma, made for selling overseas. But I decided to include the ANF rather than Phantoma. Or Phantom. I see you said Phantoma. I keep remembering that. Phantoma is a thing from a whole different from a whole different series. But I decided to put the ANF instead. Because this was actually in the show. I think I'll put it right there. No, right there. That's good. I don't really like the design much, but it's really nice for what it is, but it's like it's got to compete with all of these. Okay, next is the Sedlasud Type F, which also is very purple. Why is it? I need to fix this line art. The colors must have been messed up when I converted the image type. This is like a blinding purple, which is nice. I mean, it looks nice, but it's not what it's not what it's supposed to be. Is the problem. I actually really like this one. The appearance of the two sensor arrays. The symmetry is very nice. These clavicle antennae are also very nice, and overall, I really like the appearance. There's not that much more to say about it since I already talked about the original Sedlasud. Although I actually do also really like the revolving bazooka weapon that it has. At some point, I need to try and make this in gunpla form as well. That is where Estrella 2 is produced. Oh, right, yeah. I forgot about Estrella 2. I'm almost certain... So, given Estrella 2 is what made me almost certain that it is not canon. The Estrella 2 does not make any sense to me. It is very cool, and I like it, but it doesn't seem to fit within the canon to me. Once again, I'm not sure that it's not canon, but I'm pretty sure it's not canon. And then also, once again, that's not a bad thing. But I do think that it's not canon. But this is definitely going to get above there. Probably, like, there. Yeah, the Estrella 2 is cool, but it to me it doesn't seem to really fit within the established canon. Okay, the Estrella Kiwito, also wow, I said Estrella. What's wrong with me? The Tierran Kiwito, also known as the Tierran all-terrain type. Those with a keen eye may notice it has similar legs, chest, and gun to the Tierran Tauzi, because this is the prototype for the Tierran Tauzi. This is interesting among 00 mobile suits in that it actually has 2 crew, a pilot and a gunner. I'm a big fan of this thing. The nice big shoulders with these giant propellant tanks are they're very cool, while also seeming very utilitarian. This almost feels more like this feels like an armored core, honestly. This is an armored core. This is a mobile suit. This is an armored core. But yeah, the head's, like, antenna fin is also nice. This rifle is very interesting. I think that might have been a beam rifle, actually, but it was so named all-terrain type because, like the Tierran Tauzi, which inherited this from it could move on, any terrain. It could be used in space. It could be used within the atmosphere. I think it might have even been able to fly, and it didn't even need like an equipment change or anything. So its versatility was very good. I like this little gun there as well. Very nice. So this goes below the Tauzi, probably at the top of B. And then last, but not least, is this thing, which I actually don't know the name because some places have it listed. It looks like the XN unit was on it first. Interesting. That also doesn't make any sense because the XN unit was designed after the 00 was already a thing. But yeah, the fact that it's not canon doesn't stop it from being cool. Anyway, this thing in some places has been called the Union Blast, and in other places I've seen it called the Union Blust. I'm inclined to go with Blast instead, considering flag is also just a normal word, like blast. This thing, compared to the flag, had worse mobile suit mode, and it was, even thinner, but had better, fighter mode. As I understand it, the main reason the flag won, or not main reason, but one of the main reasons the flag won is because the main test pilot was Graham Aker. But this thing is also very interesting. I think it'd be neat to try and make a model kit of this. You'd probably need quite a few flag parts, as well as, I think, some of these you might be able to make by modifying some 30-minute mission parts. But this thing is definitely weird, but I actually like it quite a bit. It's very aerodynamic, for one. It looks like something that you could see would transform into a fighter. But I honestly don't know where to really put this. Probably right here. Now let's see if there's any adjustments I want to make before I decide this is over. I don't think so. I think nobody should be surprised that I have all of these Exias in here in the top. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you want to count the Estrella type, I have 6. So for those who don't know, this is part of a series where I'm doing, in the end, all of Gundam. Like, the first video of this was the 1-year war mobile suits, although I also included some from after the 1-year war, like the Stardust incident. And then I did all the ones from like the Grips conflict, and then eventually the one I did before this was all the ones from Seed. So next I'll be doing all the ones from Age, I believe. So, and eventually I'll take all of them and then take all of the S tiers and then put them in a tier list, and then all the S tier ranked mobile suits will duke it out. Link page is Proto XN. I'll check that out after the stream. If you'd like to chat with me about things like that, and this goes for everybody in the chat, I have a link down in the description of this to my Discord server. It is the best place to chat with me in my community, other than the stream chat, but unlike the stream chat, it is not limited to whenever I'm streaming. You can chat with me anywhere then. There's also links to my, there's, my brain doesn't work. You can get stream notifications. You can opt in or out of ping notifications for streams, as well as for other types of content. There's also a whole channel for suggestions. There are there's a channel for all types of model kits, which is also where I update most often on my different builds, such as my many Hyzacs. For those who don't know, I am obsessed with the Hyzac. I have 7 high-grade Hyzacs, one of which is being modified into the Hyzac Custom, which is my furthest completed custom build. Another one is being modified into the Hyzac Cannon, that literally I've not done that much on. Another one's being modified into the Hyzac pre-production type, and that's all. And I'm also making a Zaku 1 and Zaku 2 into the Bourgeois and Bourgeois Custom from Turn A Gundam, which I refuse to accept those are not Hyzacs. Huge 00 fan and Hero Gundam in general. So am I. Gundam 00 is my favorite Gundam show, and my second favorite mecha show, or second or third favorite mecha show, after Macross 7 and maybe the original Macross. I'm really not sure which I like more between Macross and Gundam 00. But yeah, if you like Gundam, then definitely check out my Discord server. I am a huge Gundam fan, and there's a few other huge Gundam fans in there as well, such as Robot Feet and Emily, who you probably saw in the chat here, because she was there. I don't know if she still is. Yeah, I update on builds all the time there. I also talk about Gundam games in the game chat. And yeah, I'd love to have another Gundam fan on the server. So definitely consider joining. And also that way you can get notifications for when I do the next Gundam tier list, which I'm not sure when that'll be, but hopefully soon. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can tell that I'm a huge Gundam fan based on the fact that I'm streaming this. Still here, just listening while fiddling with the Origin kits. Ah, I see. I actually really do not mind being used as background noise. Actually, I enjoy being used as background noise because I try and make my streams a comfy environment for people. But yeah, also, I talk about Mecha all the time. That's my main obsession. It's to the point where people on Twitter apparently associate me more with Gundam, or they associate more as a Gundam person than as a VTuber, which might not be a good thing, but it is how it is. If I'm gonna be known as anything other than a streamer, a Gundam fan and Gunpla builder is what it should be. But yeah, I think this is how I'll end off the tier list. This looks pretty good. I'll probably, just so it looks nicer before I make the actual image, replace the Union Blast and Archie Gundam images with transparent ones, because they're kind of eyesores as it is now. But yeah, I'm liking how this is. This turned out nice. And I don't think there's going to be too many people getting angry at me in the comments. You know what? If you want to get angry at me in the comments, feel free. That's interaction. So, the YouTube algorithm like me, feel free to tell me every way that my opinions are objectively wrong, because, you know, your opinions are so much better than mine. That's engagement. Appreciate the content, by the way. Yeah, no problem. I don't just stream Gundam stuff, just so people know. I stream other stuff too. Like tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow's stream will actually not be here on YouTube. Tomorrow's stream will be a karaoke stream on Twitch, assuming my voice is well enough. If it is not well enough, then tomorrow's stream actually will be a Gundam stream, because it'll probably be Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Busan. But hopefully my voice will be feeling well enough tomorrow for karaoke. Let me put my Twitch link. There. If for some reason that Twitch link does not work, then that means I am a fool. If that is the case, please look down below for my link tree, which actually, I keep forgetting for which places I use /Netsui Aya and which place I use Netsui Ayahoshi. I should have just picked one. But I have my link tree down in the description, which has all of my links there. So if that Twitch link doesn't work, then I have the link there. But yeah, also, if any of you have any suggestions for songs you want me to sing, please put them in the suggestions channel, because if you tell me on stream, I won't have time to practice them. If you tell me on stream, it might be one that I actually already know well enough to sing, but it also might not be. And if it's not, then I won't be able to sing it then. So if you put it in the suggestions channel on my Discord server, or say tag me on Twitter or something, or DM me on Twitter, I think I have my DMs open, then that has a much higher chance of you getting to hear me sing that, because I'll have time to practice it. Sprockets, hello. I'm sorry, but I'm actually just about to end off the stream. Thank you for stopping by, though. I appreciate it still. But yeah. Oh, and also, an event that I've been planning for a while is Monkey Month. So for those who don't know, I am a huge fan of monkeys. I love monkeys. Join Discord. Yes, I can see that. Let me click the button to wave hi. There we go. Yes, always appreciate new members to the Discord server. But yes, Monkey Month was actually originally going to be February, but I forgot that February is Black History Month, and I was not aware that monkey can also be used as an offensive slur. So sadly, we had to delay Monkey Month, but it's coming now. Monkey Month, during Monkey Month, I will make an effort to do a lot of monkey-based things, such as on the 1st of March, I'm streaming The Secret of Monkey Island, which is a game that I hold dear to my heart. It is a piece of my childhood. It's a puzzle game about pirates. It's a pretty silly game. But yeah, and also I'll try and get during Monkey Month, I'll try and get my Barbas build. For those who don't know, the Barbas is a mobile suit from Gundam, model number MS06MS. The second MS is for Monkey Special. It's basically a Zaku with legs instead of arms. I mean arms instead of legs, so it's got 4 legs, or 4 arms, like a monkey. And it's piloted by a monkey. And it's got 4 Gelgoog beam rifles. It's so ridiculous. I love it so much. I'll try and get my Barbas build done during March. I don't have that much time because I work full-time on top of streaming and commissions and other stuff. So I really don't have that much time. But I'll try and get it done. But as far as this stream, I think that's going to be the end of it. Yeah, I appreciate all of you guys for coming and especially chatting. But also, if you didn't chat, that's fine. I appreciate the lurkers too. Thank you for watching and experiencing my content. Yeah, tomorrow's stream will be... Oh yeah, I forgot to say when tomorrow's stream will be. Tomorrow's stream will be at the same time this one was. So that's 1 p.m. GMT, 5 a.m. PDT. I believe that is 8 a.m. EDT, although I'm not sure on that. But yeah, it'll be on Twitch, not here on YouTube. But if you miss it, don't worry, because I will upload the VOD here on my YouTube. If I remember this time, which hopefully I will. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.